Shalom. First of all, I'd like to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to the elect. And a quick lesson on I don't even know what I'm going to title this. I guess just mainly talking about this thing that's coming up on Hulu of the freaknic. All right, and really, the scriptures say in Ecclesiastes 1:9, there's no new thing under the sun. And if you search for things in the scriptures, it'll come to light. And also, I'm gonna talk about the basically, I guess I would like to call it its generic counterpart, which was the Greek picnic, all right, which happened here a lot in Philadelphia. All right, so I'm gonna read about the celebration, then I'm gonna go into some scriptures. All right, this is the Roman festival of Bacchus. The title is Roman Festival of Bacchus. The Roman Festival of Bacchus, usually referred to as Bacchanalia, was a series of feast days held in honor of Bacchus, this Roman god of wine, ecstasy, freedom, fruitfulness, and vegetation. Was always up for a party. And that's what you see with Jake Volley. Really, pretty much Volley is set in great dignity. All right. And that event went on through the early part of the 90s of just debauchery, man. All right. Debauchery, pure wickedness, man. All right. And probably a lot of children was born out of that. A lot of STDs is probably passed around. All right. Due to the lack of no order. All right. But reading on, the Greek equivalent was Dionysus, which preceded him by several hundred years. All right. I'm going to skip down. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. But I'm going to skip down to the second paragraph. The god was thought to possess his followers during the rituals and free them of their inhibitions, the shackles of social rules and norms. It involved dancing, music, and free sexual activity. Same things that go on now. All right. On the bottom line, rules and things of that nature are meant to protect you. All right. But we see in this society, it promotes that do as thou wilt spirit. All right. In which, let me read it. Let me go to some scriptures. All right. Let me go into it. Because we're not to follow after the ways of the heathen. All right. Come destroyed. All right. This is Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. All right. We're not supposed to choose none of his ways, because ultimately it leads to our destruction. Let's go here first Maccabees 1. I'm going to start at 9. All right. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons. And after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Or evils were multiplied in the earth. And it's speaking of the four generals after the death of Alexander the Great. I will skip down to 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people who were so forward herein, that they went to the king, and who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, whereupon they built a place for exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen. And they made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. All right, and that's what you see with our people here. They always, every weekend comes, they're always looking for a party. All right, and I know a lot of times there's nothing wrong with partying, but these things lead to a lot of debauchery and foolishness, man. All right, a lot of death. All right, scriptures say, depart from this place. All right, this is not your rest. All right, for it will destroy you with the sword destruction. This is Second Maccabees 6. Not long after the king sent an old man to Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of the Most High. And that's what you see now. A lot of people be set up as puppets to lead our people astray, whether it be in the political world or the entertainment world, sports world. They're always propped up and used to pull us into some foolishness to continually be exploited. In verse 2, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem and call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius, and Gerizim, the Jupiter, defender of strangers, as they did that dwell in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, for the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, riot, partying, fighting, who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. And besides that, they brought in things that were not lawful, eating unlawful foods, The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. And there was something that I was looking up on another page, which they had a certain herb that altered their consciousness, which allegedly was supposed to make them more spiritual. So you can equate those things to what they do now, smoking weed, using all types of drugs, those things are to keep you in the darkness and wickedness. Verse 6, neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. And that is the beginning of when we begin pretty much to fall in line of being Gentiles. All right. We put off the ways of our forefathers and pretty much absorbed and did the things that the heathens did and did them better, and like we do now. This is 2 Maccabees 4 and 15, not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. So you tell them that they're Israelites, they're not trying to hear that, they want to do what they want to do. This society, like I always says, pretty much it promotes the fulfillment of the flesh, which ultimately leads to your destruction, your demise. Jeremiah 17 and 4, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So pick up the ways of the heathen, man. But thanks to this glorious truth, we're called out because we're no different than them. We're Gentiles here in this particular place. And through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bacchus and through the Holy Spirit, we've moved away from those particular ways. Like I said, I remember in some part in the 90s, we was down in Virginia and we went to Virginia Beach, and we pretty much, me and a couple friends at that time, would knock on some doors, and girls would answer the door and they would let us in, man. We didn't know these people from a can of paint, and hey, it was just that do as thou wilt spirit, man. No order, no self-control, which ultimately leads to a destruction of people. And look where we are now. But this is 1 Peter 4 and 3. I'm gonna start it. 4 and 3. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. Same things. Nothing changed. Banquetings, parties, abominable idolatries. Excess of wine. Verse 4, when they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. So we see that through the Spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, he brought us out of darkness into this light of this truth. Brought us out of that folly, that mindset of living after and following after the heathens. This is Ephesians 4:17. I say this therefore, and testify of the Adawan, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind, having their understanding darkened, and being alienated from the life of the Most High through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart, in which we once were. All right. But we've been liberated through that. All right. John 8:32, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Verse 19, who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. All right. Running after money and blowing money, spending it on wild parties, money blow out of your hands, that get money spirit. All right. And this goes back even further than the 90s. You can go in the 70s. All right. There was a lot of things that's going on. There's documentaries of people wilding out even back then. All right. It's Ephesians 2. I mean 2:12. That at the time you were without the Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope, and without the Most High in the world. All right. All right. Our souls left in hell, man, a condition of extreme sin, extreme degradation and sin, man. All right. Which leads to the wrath of the Most High, destruction. All right. And we don't have to walk in that no more. Galatians 5:16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. All right. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary one to another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye are led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry. All right. And it goes further on. All right. Things that the world teaches. All right. Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Adawan with all their heart, lead not unto their own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. All right. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Adawan and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. So this what this knowledge is. It's health and life. All right. And not the ways of the world. All right. But more and more these things are coming out as the wickedness was always prevailing in this place and amongst our people because we're in captivity. All right. So with that, I pray that you've been edified with this lesson. And with that, I would like to say shalom.